Welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for a Tuesday. No, it's not a two for Tuesday. I don't know why I say that all the time. It's burned into my brain. Anyways, it's just Tuesday. It has no feeling whatsoever. May 22nd, 2024. Hope you're doing well. Your week is off to a roaring start. Hope you can get through this summer. Man, it's already 1,000 degrees every day here in Florida. Yeah. I think we must be the closest to the sun right now. Like we are much closer than the rest of the planet. So I walk outside and my skin starts melting. It's messed up. Anyways, hey, please hit the BuckeyeCast.com. Do some shopping around. Check out the video vault. You can catch up on all your recruiting highlights. No commercials. All the videos are commercial free. So enjoy that. And let's kick it off here. Today, we're talking about second-year players that are ready to make a jump in the offensive side of the ball in 2024. So at Ohio State, true freshmen don't really get snaps. That's rare. You'll see a few guys out of this 2024 class get some snaps, but Jeremiah Smith, those don't come around every day. So starting jobs were taken. So the season didn't really have many blowouts last year. So there weren't opportunities for young players to really get on the field and definitely not to make an impact. So some guys are ready to take on some important roles in this offense, though. So let's get into them. So we're going to talk about each member of the freshman class. This is offense only. We'll do defense a few days from now or whatever. So what happened last year and what are we looking at for 2024? We'll talk a little snap counts and stuff like that. Yeah. All right. So I'll give you my guys, my second-year guys who I see having an impact. Let's start off with the quarterbacks. Lincoln Keenholz, he is a second-year dude. He actually hasn't even been on campus for a full year yet, calendar year. So had 26 snaps in the spring game. The plan was to let him ease into the program. He'd, again, been on campus for less than a year. Then Devin Brown's injury in the Cotton Bowl kind of forced that plan into the toilet, and Keenholz had to play 40 snaps against Missouri. But he only appeared in 3 games and had 22 pass attempts in the whole. Keenholz is the best athlete in the quarterback room, though that's obvious. But best case scenario, he continues his development track as QB3. I don't see him jumping Devin, and Devin's going to be here through fall. There's no more portal windows. So he will fight Devin Brown, Julian Sain, and Aaron Nolan for their starting job in 2025, though. So stay on the course and see you in 2025, please, because it's better for everybody. We don't want any injuries to a starter or anything like that. Next up, Brandon Inniss. I got Inniss having a huge impact this season. He got no snaps in the spring game. He was on a little scooter, had a little foot thing. But Inniss showed he's an explosive playmaker with that 58-yard touchdown catch against Purdue last year. That was his only catch of the year. So, hey, 1 for 1, touchdown. Most of his work was on special teams. That's where you got to kind of cut your teeth and prove yourself as a gunner or wherever it may be. But he appeared in every game but one, all of them, and played 66 snaps. He played 0 snaps in the spring game because of the injury. But this receiver room's loaded. We know that. Inniss will play one of the 32 snaps he played on offense last year. He flashed in spring before the injury, then missed the last few practices. He should be a rotational receiver, probably working in as maybe your next slot guy, depending on where Emeka lines up. So he should get, in my estimation, 200 to 350 snaps out of the slot. I think he's going to get a heavy workload there. And you can use him as a ball carrier, like in jet sweeps, end arounds, like they did with Emeka. He'll also get work as a returner on special teams. So he's got that strong lower body, can take a hit, he looks kind of like a running back almost. So I got my guy Brandon Inniss having a big impact in 2024. Same for his teammate and SFE teammate Carnell Tate. He had 27 snaps in the spring game. They kind of limited his action because they knew he would be a starter this fall. He had 300 snaps on offense last year, 102 on special teams, but only 18 receptions on 28 targets, 264 yards and a touchdown. More receptions and yards than Marvin Harrison Jr. and Chris Olave as true freshmen. So there's a feather in your cap. He will be one of the 3 starters this fall, no question about it. So therefore, huge impact guy, probably the most impact of everybody we're going to talk about. Then you got Bryson Rogers, into the portal, out of the portal, snip, snap, snip, snap. Had 45 snaps in the spring game. That's huge. Played in only 2 games last year, though, thus popping into the portal. 6 snaps with no targets. And he took a major step forward this spring. Could have a role for him this fall. I think he's definitely going to have a role. I'm not talking he's not coming in and taking over somebody's starting gig, but he should find a spot in the rotation with Emeka, Brandon Inniss, Carnell Tate, and Jeremiah Smith. Is he the 5th man in? I don't know, maybe. But he should get meaningful snaps for sure this year. Next up, Jelani Thurman, the tight end. He had 31 snaps in the spring game. I got him having a big impact. I know he's the 3rd tight end, but we're going to need him, and he's going to need to play to get into game action so we can build depth in that room. He's got freaky physical skills and the impressive physical profile, but that wasn't enough for him to get on the field last season. Plus, Cade Stover took all of the tight end reps. Thurman appeared in 5 games, was 5th among tight ends in snaps. So he should be your 3rd tight end at worst this fall. He should push for a much larger role than last year, of course. He had 2 receptions for 18 yards last year. In his limited action, though, he was the team's 2nd best run blocker, according to PFF. And he should see a great increase in snaps this fall, talking a few hundred at least. Now some O-line. Austin Sareveld had 52 snaps in the spring game. That's a nice workload. Didn't play at all last year. Redshirted, of course. Coaches talked about his progress, though, and he was in the 2 deep in the spring and should be in the 2 deep this fall as well at guard. Not quite ready to push for the opening at the right guard yet, but he should be in contention for the starting job in 2025 when Donovan Jackson goes out onto the pros. Josh Padilla, offensive lineman, he had 50 snaps in the spring game. Didn't get into a game last year either, so another redshirt situation. Coaches talked about him as well and his progress with the other linemen. Needs to get some valuable experience in games this year. I think you could say the same for all these guys, all the old linemen. And he should have a crack at the starting center job in 2025. Luke Montgomery, he is the only one that had 44. He had a lot of snaps last year, 44. He also had 44 snaps on offense last year. 44 snaps in the spring game, 44 on offense, and then 27 snaps on special teams. It's a lot more than his classmates. Montgomery got snaps at the jumbo tight end position last year. He had the 5th best run blocking grade among all the offensive linemen last year, but again, only 44 snaps. He was better than 3 of the starters, by the way. I'm sure that'll even out as he plays more, but he battled for the right guard opening this spring. Couldn't lock it up. So he's going to compete with Carson Hinsman and Tegra Shabola into the fall. Worst case, Montgomery is going to be in the 2 deep this fall at right guard. But there's a real chance he could be the starter. Last one, Miles Walker. Didn't play at all last year either. He's another tackle. Missed spring with shoulder surgery, lost some valuable development time, and might not see the field until 2026. It's just depth in front of him. He's got too many guys in front of him, and the injury, put him behind the 8 ball. He wasn't undervalued, overlooked recruit. He doesn't really need to contribute right away, so that's good. But best case, he gets into the depth chart and gets some reps this fall. We'll see. There's just so many other guys, even in his own class, that have kind of passed him by, right? So we'll see what happens there. So I got Inniss, Tate, Jelani on offense having big impacts in their second years. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know who you're looking at. Disagree, agree, whatever. I'm always game. And, I always reply to every single comment. So I appreciate you. Talk to you later. Go Bucks.